Have you ever wondered if there's a secret the Bible has purposely hidden from us? A secret erased from history thousands of years ago. A story of two powers in heaven, one name lost to time. But why has this been kept from us? A pair of celestial beings, a reflection of God, yet buried in silence. That's the question we'll explore today. Don't miss out. This secret might just change the way you see the world. Join me as we dive deep into this story and uncover the things very few know. We'll peel back the layers of history, revealing the mysteries that even scholars have overlooked. If you want to know more, keep watching. And remember, these secrets are just beginning to unfold. Welcome to the Sacred Bible channel, where mysterious Bible stories and apocalyptic theology are explored in a whole new light. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of the incredible stories we have for you. And don't forget to leave your answer in the comments. Who is the mysterious twin in heaven? Together, we'll uncover this secret. Before the opening words of Genesis ever echoed through the heavens. Before creation itself began to take shape, before the stars glittered into existence. There was something else. Something forgotten. A shadow lost in the cracks between time and eternity. Imagine it. A presence, brilliant and overwhelming, standing beside the eternal throne of God. A name whispered only by the winds of the ancients. A being, radiant with light, who mirrored God, but was not him. He was not created to compete or challenge, but to reflect, to stand alongside the Creator. A perfect reflection of the divine. And yet, that reflection was swallowed by the mists of time. For centuries, we have been told there is only one God. Only one throne, one voice, one omnipotent being. But in the deep silence of the ancient scrolls, something stirs. Strange echoes. Unseen footsteps. The word Elohim resounds in the Hebrew scriptures, a word that defies singularity. It is not just God in the singular sense, it is plural. Gods. Not just one. And yet, we are told only one reigns. But I wonder, was it always like this? Was Yahweh truly alone? Was he always the only presence in the cosmos, or was there another, hidden from our view? A twin, lost to time? Could it be that before creation began, before the world was shaped from the void, there was a divine counterpart beside Yahweh? Not a rival. Not an enemy. But a twin. A being who mirrored his every thought, his every move. A twin who stood side by side with the Almighty, sharing in the light of creation. But if this twin existed, where is he now? What happened to the second face in the mirror of heaven? Why was he erased from the tapestry of history? I ponder the question in my quiet hours. Was there once another, equal in glory, equal in wisdom, lost to the sands of time? The echoes of this twin are faint, but they are there, scattered in the corners of forgotten scripture. In ancient cultures, from Mesopotamia to Canaan, the stories of twin gods are whispered through the ages. Cosmic brothers. Divine equals. Beings of light and wisdom, existing together before the world was formed. Not one alone, but two. But if you look closely, even in the Bible, there is a hint of this forgotten twin. Genesis 1 verse 26 offers a strange and elusive clue. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness." Who is God speaking to here? Us? Our? The words roll off the tongue, yet we have always been taught that there is only one God. If only one God exists, why does he say us? Some argue that the plural is just a royal we. A form of majestic speech. Others claim it refers to angels, heavenly beings standing by God's side. But listen carefully. No angel is ever said to create in the image of God. Only God himself does that. So, who, then, is he speaking to? Who is standing beside him in the very act of creation? The Hebrew word for God here is Elohim, a plural form that refers not to a singular entity, but to a council, a gathering of gods. The Bible speaks of a divine assembly, a group of celestial beings who share in the work of creation. In Psalm 82, we read, God stands in the assembly of Elohim. In the midst of the gods, he judges. There is something far deeper here, a secret that has been buried in plain sight. For centuries, we have been taught that there is one God above all others. But this scripture hints at something more, something hidden in the ancient words. Could it be that Yahweh was not alone? That he shared his reign with another? This twin, this mirror image of Yahweh, was not beneath him, but like him in every way. A second face in the mirror of heaven. A reflection of the divine light, equal in glory, equal in majesty. And yet, over time, this twin, this being who shared the divine throne, vanished. Disappeared into the forgotten crevices of history. We are left with only fragments of his existence. Like broken glass scattered across the ages. A name whispered in the winds of time. A shadow that haunts the edges of our understanding. So, where is he now? Why has he been erased? Why does this twin of God seem to have never been? I believe the answer is more complex than we realize. For while Yahweh may have been the creator of Israel, and his name carved into history, the second presence, this divine twin, was hidden away, quietly waiting in the silence of eternity. Perhaps this twin was too much to bear. Perhaps humanity could not understand the duality of the divine. So he was hidden, buried, erased from the very foundation of our faith. But the echoes remain. The questions linger in the shadows, waiting for us to uncover what was lost before Genesis ever began. What if the story of God, the story of creation, is not the story of one, but the tale of two? Lost, erased, forgotten. Long ago, the people of Israel knew of the two powers in heaven. It was not a foreign idea. It was not heresy or a dangerous thought. It was a part of their faith. It was a truth, veiled in mystery, but still truth. Jewish scholars, in ancient times, whispered of it. They called it the two powers in heaven. But something happened. After centuries of war, after the weight of exile, the leaders of Israel began to feel uneasy. They feared the two powers might destabilize the faith, might fracture their understanding of God. By the 2nd century, they acted. They banned this belief. They silenced the teachings of the two powers, calling it blasphemy. The idea that there could be more than one divine presence, more than one sovereign power, was deemed dangerous, a challenge to the very fabric of their faith. But before that, before the world grew quiet, before the whispers faded into silence, the sacred texts held fragments of this forgotten truth. In the earliest version of the book of Deuteronomy, hidden beneath layers of history, there lies a verse that speaks to the heart of the two powers. The Most High divided the nations according to the sons of God. Not the sons of Israel. The sons of God. Not just one God, but a family of divine beings, each with their own realm, their own authority. Yahweh, the God of Israel, had his portion. Israel. He ruled over one nation, chosen and set apart. But the others, they were not left alone. They were given to other divine rulers, other gods of the nations. El Elyon, the Most High, stood above them all, the supreme ruler of the divine council. And beneath him, Yahweh stood among the sons of God, equal yet distinct, one power among many. This ancient vision, this divine hierarchy, was a cornerstone of Israelite belief. Before the time of exile, a divine family, a council of heavenly beings, each one tasked with governing a part of creation. But over time, as Israel faced conquest and destruction, the understanding of God began to shift. Monotheism, the belief in one God, began to take root. And with it came change. The ancient stories, once filled with multiple gods, were edited, rewritten. The two powers were erased. The divine council was buried, forgotten. By the time of Ezra, after the exile, monotheism became the heart of Israel's identity. One God, one name, one throne, The idea of multiple gods, of a divine family, was too dangerous for their new, unified faith. So, the scribes rewrote the old scriptures. They merged El Elyon and Yahweh into one. They erased the distinction. They silenced the twin. And in doing so, they buried the ancient truth. The divine council, the multiple powers, the existence of a counterpart to Yahweh, was lost to time. But sometimes the veil lifts, and we catch a glimpse of what was once known, a whisper of what has been lost. In the quiet corners of Scripture, the two powers still linger, hiding beneath the surface, waiting for those who dare to search. Genesis, for example, still holds a strange clue. The plural language, let us make man in our image. Why the plural? Who was God speaking to? Why does this ancient text still echo of something more? And then, there's the mysterious figure of Melchizedek, the king of Salem, who appeared before Abraham and was described as a priest of El Elyon. Why does this enigmatic figure appear out of nowhere? Why is he described as both a priest and a king, two roles usually reserved for the divine? These ancient fragments, these small, seemingly insignificant pieces, hint at a time when the divine was not one, but two. Two powers standing side by side, in the highest places of heaven. Yet, the record of this belief was erased. The twin was silenced. But the shadows remain. The echoes of a forgotten truth still haunt the corners of sacred texts. Perhaps it is time for us to lift the veil, to ask the questions that have been buried for so long, to uncover the secrets of the two powers in heaven, and the lost twin who stood beside Yahweh in the beginning. What if we were never meant to forget? There is a name that lingers in the silent air. A name like smoke after fire, soft, elusive, but ever present. It dances at the edge of forgotten memories, waiting to be remembered. In the deepest corners of Jewish mysticism, there is a figure known as Metatron. He is not a mere angel, nor a fleeting presence. In the book of 3 Enoch, Metatron is described as sitting beside God, his throne beside the Almighty's. His role as judge, as recorder of names, as the one who writes in the sacred book of life. Metatron is not a stranger to Yahweh. He is called the Lesser Yahweh, the second name. What does this mean? Metatron, the one with the Tetragrammaton, the holy, unspeakable name of God, bears it not as a thief or a rebel, but as a trusted mirror. A mirror to Yahweh himself. A reflection of the divine. Not a rival. Not an enemy. But the twin that once stood beside God. In the beginning, there were not two enemies. There were not two forces locked in eternal battle. No, there were two reflections. Two lights, burning with equal radiance. But Earth was not ready for such a revelation. Humanity could not bear the weight of two glories. The unity of divine power was too much. Too overwhelming. So, the scribes, in their wisdom and fear, chose to erase him. Not because he fell like Lucifer. Not because he rebelled. But because he was too much like God. The twin, too bright, too pure, was folded into silence. He was buried within myth. Lost in the empty spaces between verses, where only the keenest eyes might catch a glimpse of him. But heaven never forgot. The heavens held his memory, as they hold the stars. The book of Daniel speaks of a time when all will be revealed. Seal the words until the time of the end. Not everything is meant to remain hidden forever. At the Tower of Babel, humanity did not only lose language. We lost memory. We lost the knowledge of who we were, of the divine unity we once shared. We forgot the twin. We forgot the other half of heaven. But what is sealed can be unsealed. What has been hidden can be revealed. The twin is not gone. He has not vanished into nothingness. He waits. Not in absence, but in presence. a shadow behind the light, an echo in the winds of time. He is there. Just as a shadow always follows the light, the twin remains in the depths of the unseen, waiting for the moment when the veil will lift, when the seal will break. One day, the two will speak again. The silence will end, and the world will know. There were always two, not one. Perhaps that is the greatest mystery of all. Not that the twin was erased, but that he was promised. A promise that has never been broken, only hidden in the folds of time. The return of the twin will not be a moment of wrath or vengeance. It will be a moment of restoration. A return to the unity that was lost. A reunion between two divine forces, long separated but never truly apart. And when that moment comes, when the twin steps back into the light, the world will remember. And the story that began in the shadows of heaven will find its final chapter, written not in silence, but in the triumphant echo of two voices, once again speaking as one. We've caught a glimpse of the secret, but there's still so much more hidden. As the doors of truth open, will you be able to see the whole truth about the erased twin? If you want to keep uncovering these deep secrets, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends so we can continue exploring even more mysterious stories. And leave your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think Metatron really is? I'll see you in the next video, where these stories will surprise you even more. We'll be back.